Episode 73.
Yeah.
We jump into some Red Dead, which is
Red Dead controversy.
yeah, Red Dead controversy, which is not surprising because we've been playing this a lot for the podcast because the game's so dope. But yeah, check it out, enjoy the listen. What was your favorite part of the podcast, Vish?
Well, Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. That'll be exciting when you hear about that. So look forward to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Breaking news right on this podcast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Merchandise.
So if you want to support the podcast, aside from subscribing and supporting on Patreon, patreon.com/Socratic Gamers, you can also pick up some teas on Teespring, shop.godlyonmyfire.com. Yeah, support the podcast through these means. Go Vish.
Oh, like sharing, subscribing, commenting,
yeah, and the one that has never come yet, but we're hoping for
a video reply.
Yeah, throwback every day.
Yeah, right. All right, cool. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, boom, and we're back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. This is episode 73, divisible by these amazing numbers. Vish,
What?
you're better at math than me.
Not a... Oh.
73 is divisible by none, actually. I think 73 is a prime number.
Sure.
I don't know. I think I'm making that up. Anyways, this is the regularly scheduled podcast. We talk about 4 things that we thought were cool from the week and dissect them in the modern Socratic gamer method of playing games while we talk. So first on the docket, Vish, what's up?
Well, it's not really controversy from the game per se, but it's like controversy in like
You know what's so funny? I was about to say
actions of what you can do in Red Dead.
Okay, I was about to say what's on the docket first. Probably something from Red Dead, and it was. So,
okay.
All right. So, anyways, continue.
So there was some guy, a YouTuber.
What's his name?
Some YouTuber.
Oh, YouTuber. I thought you said 8 Gibber. I was like, well, that's a weird name.
No.
Right.
YouTuber.
All right. Yeah.
So he released a video just doing like kind of like slapstick humor, like kind of like, you know what I mean? Like
little memes, like how I've been making memes recently.
Sure, yeah.
Kind of like that, like
it's
little funny
bit,
videos.
It's a little bit harsh, but it's just more for just comedic use.
Okay, cool.
But like, and then all of a sudden his YouTube account was taken down.
Oh, no way.
By YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sucks.
Well, I'll tell you the whole story. So
okay.
Then some people were like, oh, it's good that happened because what he was doing was pure hate. Like what he was showing was pure hate. So what was it in the video? The specific video that I talk about was like some suffragette, like fighting for women's rights. So they were like kind of protesting.
Okay.
In the game. I haven't even got to that place
Oh, they're
yet.
protesting in the game. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
he was just like kind of like bugging her, then like doing like different scenarios, like would kill her, would feed her to the crocodiles. Another video would put her at the tracks as the train runs her over.
Oh, that makes sense, and that's why he's saying it's hate.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Okay, yeah, true.
But then, yes, if you look at those videos, and if that's the only videos that he's putting up, I can see why you would think that.
Okay.
But then I looked at his YouTube channel because they ended up reversing that. They put it back on again.
Okay.
With the mature rating.
Okay.
So he got it back from YouTube after like backlash because people were like, "This doesn't make any sense because he's not doing anything that's anything bad here because it's just a video game."
Okay.
And then I scroll and look at his other videos. He's like, "Oh, he's doing the same thing to KKKs that are in the game."
Okay.
So he's not like...
So he hates women and KKKs? Like, what? I don't understand.
No, I just think he's just doing it like what works as views and what is like crazy slapstick humor that is just not... It's not like he's intentionally hates.
Okay, well, all right. So this brings up another point about not privacy. What do you call that? Like censorship.
Yeah.
So, okay. So do you think that YouTube and like Twitter and like Facebook are all like utility platforms, like they should be like publicly owned, sort of like electricity, like everyone has a right to own them, or no?
It's a hard question.
Right, because like the controversy with Alex Jones.
I wonder I think you would have to put some kind of rule, because if so many amount of people start using it, then it becomes more of a public platform than. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Right? Like there's a certain level, because this is all new, right? This is the internet. It's hard to say.
I kind of agree. So
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's hard because, but then it's also these rules don't exist, so they can do what they want.
See, this is how I think about it. It's a corporation, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess electricity started as a corporation too. You have to kind of look at like the historical precedents, you know, of like how other things work. But like, I kind of feel like with these things, it's like there are alternatives out there. There were no other alternatives for electricity. There's only gonna be like one electricity provider.
Right, but I'm saying like if all of a sudden like 80%. But
there's like Vimeo.
No,
you can still upload your. It's not like they're not censoring you from the internet. They're censoring like these companies from the platform. But it's like, you're using the platform.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So these rules don't exist, but it's like.
Like all right. Let's say
if 80% is using that platform, then you can't go on that platform anymore.
Okay, wait.
That could affect your.
All right. Sort of like this. Let's say I own a gasoline company, and then somebody buys gasoline to start fires in the forest. I'd be like, dude, I'm not going to sell you gasoline anymore. You're doing craziness with it. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's the same thought process, I think. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's like I'm not stopping you from getting gasoline other places. Mm-hmm. You can go to the mom and pop shop, but you can't come to mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not such a monopoly that, cause see, like the government, like I think it's called oligopolies. So it's like there's monopoly, right, where you have the majority. Your company owns the majority of the shares of the market. Oligopolies are where you own 100% of the share, and that's where government has to step in. You're not allowed. Oligopolies.
There's a certain percentage.
I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Oligarchy or
no? I'm pretty sure it's oligopoly.
Okay. I think Amazon is close to it. I think
close to it, but it's not there yet. It has a monopoly, but it's not an oligopoly. So.
Well, I think they restrict on monopolies, right? Is that
no? But right. They start stepping in at monopolies, but then when you get to oligopoly, it's like, all right, we just need to like really crack down on you, because you can't have one company own everything, or else it's unfair advantage.
No, yeah.
So
Amazon's not there yet.
Exactly. So like with this, I feel like they haven't hit that zone, and that's why. Mm-hmm. I understand it from like an ethical point of view or like a fairness, whatever. But if you actually look at it in business terms, it's like you're not breaking the law.
Yeah.
You know, by kicking you off.
So, yeah. No, I mean, I have no problem with what YouTube is going to do. Whatever they want to do, that's fine.
It's your platform. You get to choose how you want to do it.
I think it's just how the people took it. Actually, they reversed it because of how people were saying it.
But see on Vimeo, there's more creative freedom on there. You can post a lot of weird stuff on Vimeo. You can find some weird videos, right? But like YouTube, you can't. So it's like, all right, if you want to do that, go to Vimeo.
I know, but I mean, like, yeah, then YouTube saw the backlash and they reversed it.
Yeah, but the reason why they saw the backlash because they don't want to lose like what happens if there's an uprising and then people are like, oh, screw YouTube then.
Yeah, no,
they're not doing it out of justice.
The issue was. Well, what are the rules? We don't know what YouTube's rules are, and it's kind of like they're picking and choosing versus following their own guidelines.
100%, but simultaneously, it's a free. You're not paying for anything.
No, I know, but I know. But I think the complaint was like they don't have a proper, like, what are the proper guidelines to follow?
Yeah, I know, but still, even with that, it's like they still own the platform. That's their platform.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, yes, but if you have you got the TOS and
this TOS
terms of service,
okay,
then,
but they can change those TOS at any time.
Yeah, but that means I understand that.
Yeah,
but you cannot, like, yeah, you have to change the TOS before you can do that. Then the TOS wasn't changed.
Maybe I feel like that's not a valid enough argument. To like
no, I just think that in order but I think that it's also to protect YouTube.
It's sort of like
because
this.
Then they wouldn't have this problem.
It's sort of like this, right? When they have continuous upgrades on a platform. So like when we're running new ads on Facebook and stuff, and then they're like, oh, they changed the layout of the ad, and I can't have any functionality that it used to have. Well, that's your problem. You're using the platform.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
No,
it's like,
that's fine. But
so,
what I'm saying
but is that like,
is
that also
though.
breach of TOS? Because
They'll give you a new TOS that you have to acknowledge to, right?
No, but with Facebook, they can make updates. They're constantly making updates. Like I always see like on my phone, it's like, oh, this menu option's not there anymore. Same with Twitter. But it's like they didn't make me opt in for these changes. It's
the
your
menu
platform.
options are different, but I'm saying like how to use the platform.
Yeah, but
like what are the rules?
But
They don't want
right,
like,
but it's a slippery slope. If you can do that one thing, if you can get away with menu options, you can get away with other things. It's like it's how it's presented, you know.
Depends. I think it's more of a way to protect YouTube too, though, right? If you have guidelines.
No, that's what. All right. Oh, what do you mean? Like
the guidelines for how users are putting their video, like they don't want nudity. There's nothing on there, right?
Okay, no.
So those
right.
are the. That's what I'm saying. Like this guideline wasn't there.
No, but all right. But from that point of view, it's like, okay, so the guideline wasn't there, but if we're thinking in terms of protecting YouTube, well, they're taking it down because they don't want any future backlash. So they're preemptively.
No. I understand.
You know
I understand why YouTube was doing it. I understand that.
Yeah. But it doesn't. But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really protect YouTube. It protects them more if they can change it on the fly.
Yeah.
Because if they have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they should have.
So
they
don't
eventually
need
will
to
probably
opt in,
learn
though.
from this and add more better guideline restrictions and all that sort of stuff.
That's true. That's true too. Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like they have.
Like that's why they had to reverse it.
They have no, but the only reason why they reverse it is because they're afraid of like the slippery slope of everyone freaking leaving.
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
You know, like they already got some hate off the Alex Jones thing. Now this thing, it's like, ooh, they're the platform we all don't want to be on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate on them. I personally think from a business
No,
perspective,
I don't either.
They're fine.
But I don't even think that my main topic wasn't about necessarily YouTube. It's just that how people can misunderstand something and take it at another.
Like, what do you mean?
Like take it as if it was the games doing. I think what happened out of that controversy, it came out like, oh, you should not be able to do this in the game. Like you shouldn't have this kind of freedom to.
Yeah, true.
To shoot up a woman, but then
if
you play the game, it's not a lot like that though.
Okay, but
because there's a lesson to
that,
learn even in the game.
But even like that, okay, so to say something like you can't do this in the game, it's like you have freedom in the game. You could take any game, and then like you can, you know what I'm saying? Like
I know.
Like you can take any game and then misuse the game, and then it's like, well, you shouldn't have the ability to do that. Well, all right, then don't play the game.
That's exactly the point.
What I'm saying, you know. You take something like Tetris, and then you make like a phallic symbol.
But like you're
Tetris.
taking one thing out of a game. There's so many more.
Right. But like this example, if you're playing Tetris and then you make a phallic symbol, you know what phallic means?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I didn't want to use the derogatory term. So I was like, all right. But you make a phallic symbol out of the Tetris pieces, and then they're like, you shouldn't have the right to do it. It's like, dude, you misused the game. The game was not supposed to be played this way. Like, it didn't say like one of the missions wasn't put the girl on the track and then run her over.
No, yeah.
So it's like, okay, so you're just doing it, or like when people like shoot swear words into like Call of Duty, shouldn't have that ability. Well, no, they're just shooting like it's you're like.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. My gripe was more about those people that were complaining about the game.
Yeah, I feel
when actually if you play the game, yeah, exactly, that's yeah. When you actually play the game, there's like a character not that far in the beginning, it was like she doesn't want to do the cooking and stuff. She wants to go and hunt. She wants to go like, you know what I mean? Like
she's like a progressive.
Exactly. So
like
woman's exactly, and then like. If you play the game, it's not at all like what you think it is.
That if you see, but it's like what like instance do you take on?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if you were championing, wow, this game is all about women's rights, because we just take that one scene, then it like you totally change the narrative of the game.
I think they do show that. I mean, like there was a whole mission of us driving a cart where people were trying to get to, like they were doing the protest, full on.
For sure. You know that line where it's like you see what your mind is conditioned to see.
Mm-hmm.
So like that person that wrote that is probably conditioned to seeing all the negativity, but it's like, but you missed all the positivity in this game. Like the fact that you're taking care of a horse, bro. This is animal rights right here. You know, like like he just patted the horse. Like, you know, he didn't hit the horse, so
right.
So this is a strong proponent of animal rights in this video game.
Yeah.
But that's how I'm choosing to see it, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
But it's like, one part of a game isn't the whole picture. It's just...
For sure, exactly. Yeah. But that's, I mean, then we go into the whole thing about like freedom of speech. How far do you take freedom of speech?
And you talked about that already.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
Actually, I think there was an interview where someone from Rockstar was saying, like, with all this quick to judge things or whatever that's happening, it's like there were like at least our GTA 5 game didn't come out right now.
I know.
We don't even know what we're gonna do for the next GTA 5.
Yeah.
Because of this whole
craziness.
SJWs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The social commentary in that game was super intense. So it's like, yeah.
And I don't want that to go. I like that.
No, of course not. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. And this game came out with, I guess they had a little different ways of showing it, but like even then, they're still picking in stuff from.
Which actually like this is not one of my topics, but it made me think of it. We saw mid-90s.
Yeah.
And like, I love you, Jonah Hill. You're the best. Kudos to you for making that movie. Mm-hmm. But I was like, it's all right. It kind of made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what it's supposed to do. Maybe like.
I guess so. Yeah.
But like looking at the mid-90s era and looking at our new era, it's kind of like you need more of a medium. Like that was a little too far in the mid-90s.
Right.
And then this is a little too far too. So it's like we got to find a little bit of a common ground. We got to figure out what freedom of speech means, what like, just like if you don't like it, just don't play the game.
Yeah.
And if you don't play the game, well, they're gonna lose money, and then like by protesting, what are you really doing? But you protest with your dollars, right? So people are buying into this. Well,
I mean, they made a lot of money already.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So it's like
I think most people do not have a problem with this.
Exactly.
It's the vocal minority that's just pushing the agenda here.
For sure. And you just can't pander to those people.
Yeah.
Complain about anything. Yeah. All right. So that's it?
Yeah, that was mainly it.
Just
an interesting, controversial thing.
So I just read this I'm reading Stealing Fire right now. And I was like trying to think of a new topic, and like I read this just now. And it made me think of the long history of spiritual teachers.
Okay.
So, like in India, there's like the not Brahmin, the Saddhus, the ones that like walk around like naked.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're like the gurus and like the whatevers.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eckhart Tolle?
I heard the name.
All right, so he's like the spiritual guide of our time.
Okay.
Like everyone, but I don't really like it. His stuff. Love you, Eckhart Tolle. You're the best. But, but like, I just disagree with. So like, if you go into like positivity, or this is not really the primary topic, but if you go into positivity, it's all about, like you're looking at it through a specific positivity lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go through negativity, you're looking at it through a negative lens, right? But if you go through like, this is like the Taoist approach, like you look at both sides, then there's no real right or wrong, right? It's very like Nietzschean, right? Mm-hmm. So that was kind of like a divergent. The primary topic is that Eckhart Tolle dropped out of grad school and was homeless, living in, I did not know this, it was in the book. I was like, oh, he lived in the park benches in London and he was just poor. Mm-hmm. He was like, but now he's like a spiritual teacher, and it's weird how like you have to go through, like everyone that claims spirituality speaks about being poor.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like, but like, so if you look, I understand why they're doing it, because like if you look at the story of Siddhartha, he gave up everything, right? Mm-hmm. But what they forget is that Siddhartha was also rich, right? So he had like everything, and then he also had nothing. So he's approaching his perspective on life, like the whole like Buddhist philosophy is based off of, again, like the Taoism of seeing both sides. But if you're in a struggling class and then you just go poor, of course you're gonna hate riches and all that. You know what I mean? Like if you look at Buddhist teachings, it's not actually about it's about detaching yourself from the material, but it's not necessarily vilifying the material.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
He never. I don't think he ever said. I could be wrong, but depending on the translation. But from what I've read, he never said anything about like sell everything, and like poor is the way.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm saying like of course somebody from like a high poverty experience is going to be like, they'll see the pitfalls of materialism, you know, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like these kinds of people are too negative about the material. But if you look at Eckhart Tolle's life now, what kind of car do you have? What kind of watch do you have? You know what I mean? So it's like, when you vilify things, it's like, but do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like,
I think so.
You're kind of like, you're kind of shitting on something, but you use something.
Okay.
You know, like what's his name? Osho would always talk about like letting go of materials, but he had so many Rolls Royces. Classic example, right? So it's like, why not just teach us that material things are good as well as bad? It's about your approach to the material, or your perspective of the material, your attachment to the material.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, we create this romantic notion of spiritual people being poor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
that it's like, it's almost misleading, because all those spiritual teachers are actually taking your money and appearing to be poor. Right?
Yeah.
So, that was just my thoughts. Because like, when I read that, I was like, oh, there's a lot of people that follow that approach. You know, like, I don't want to call anyone out now that I think about it, but you know, like there's like a common characteristic of spiritual people being very ascetic.
Yeah.
You know, you never see a spiritual person that's like, man, you know, I got a car, that's cool, but it's just a car. The only person that I know that's kind of like that is Joe Rogan. That's why I like him. Like, he's always like, yeah, you know, I have this car, but it's just a car. You know, I realize that I can purchase these things, but they don't hold as much grip on me as other people.
Right.
Yeah. That's my thought. So anyways, what you got?
Well, it's a short one, though. So, Disney's another, like, you know, last time I had an app, last week, was another app. It's coming up.
Follow JC Go?
Oh, that was a while ago.
Oh, okay. Well, what app?
It's Disney's making an app.
Yeah, okay.
Now everyone's getting into it.
Holy app game strong. All right.
Well, the app, it's not a game. It's the Netflix type.
Okay.
They're trying to do their own streaming service now.
Oh, okay. Disney streaming service?
Yeah, it's gonna be called Disney Plus.
Okay. Does it plus more money?
Yeah, it's like $10 a month. I don't know what it is.
$10 a month.
We don't know what it's gonna be yet.
They haven't priced. I would just get Netflix.
I think a lot of people use Netflix
to watch Disney movies
for kids to watch Disney movies.
True.
This could.
That's true. We're not in that market.
Because I heard before they announced this that they were working on one that could totally affect Netflix.
What?
Because, like, a lot of the kids shows they have are Disney.
On Netflix?
Yeah, and they will lose the contracts soon, and Disney will be running it.
Very interesting.
Unless, you know, like the Avengers and stuff like that, those movies, they won't be getting them, I think, on Netflix. It'll be going straight to Disney's platform.
Dang, okay.
This could potentially affect. I mean, I think
I would just buy both subscriptions.
That's true.
Like, it's like $11, whatever. Like,
that's true. But like, there's so many out there now. Like, there's HBO Go. There's this. There's that. Like, instead of like.
All right. So quick.
Actually, what you could do is just buy, pile up all the stuff you want to watch in a month and just, buy that one for the month and then cancel it at the end of the month.
That's true too.
I was thinking of ways to kind of like do it that way.
You know what's funny about like money? How like money is also relative conceptually.
Yeah.
So it depends on your level of income that you're making. So like I remember a time being like, oh, it's just $11. Like, I mean, no, sorry. It's $11. That's a lot of money. But now it's like, it's just $11. It's weird how that can like like relative scale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind
I
of.
mean, it's much better than buying like cable that's like $100 a month.
Oh, I would never. No, even
and then
now,
you're paying
no,
$10
no way.
to what you want, right? 10, let's say you got 3 of them, is like $30,
Yeah, that's not bad.
right?
Not true. Yeah, HBO, Netflix, and Disney.
Disney.
$30.
Yeah.
And then don't forget about your Apple Music subscription,
Oh,
$14.99.
right, music. Yeah.
pretty
Well, that's
much all you
because we
need.
have a family plan. That's why it's 14.
That's all you really need. Like
Yeah, true.
music, movies, Steam. Would you get Steam?
I don't think they have that though.
Oh, okay.
Steam is just like a place to buy the game.
Oh, never mind. Pass on that. I thought it was like a rental. Like you could play any game.
No, not like that. Like you're buying. It's like a store. It's a store.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I think there is ones like Game Pass that Xbox has. I think they're doing like some conference right now or some present, like
Oh, that's
something
cool.
that they have right now. Anyway, so yeah, they do like that Game Pass, some odd games, 100 games a month.
That's cool.
Or
You
100
play
games you have.
or-
100 games you have, and there every month they're adding 2 new games or something like
that's
that.
cool.
And then you're paying whatever it is per month.
Cool. Oh.
Yeah. And there's also Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah.
Don't-
Well, I
if
feel
you
like there's
really want
nothing
that.
really like Amazon Prime's more like you don't really need that. I don't feel.
Unless you get.
I love you, Amazon. You're the best. I feel like every time I talk negative about something,
I
I
have
should always
Amazon.
like give a little love back. Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, there's a lot of people that buy it. There's quite a huge amount of people that have it actually. It's quite successful.
which one?
The
Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But like what? I guess there's Looming Tower on there. I don't know. It just hasn't built
No,
up.
no, no.
an
It's not
established
just
name.
about that. Yeah, because they're adding in a bunch of different things.
Right. Yeah. So like they're
So
still
that's why
kind of.
It kind of works out.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really good for Twitch streamers.
But how much does Netflix make each month? Like $3 million a month?
Netflix? I don't know.
They make some like absurd amount of money.
Yeah. Like they spend billions of dollars to make original content.
Yeah,
so
but they're probably getting so much money that they don't even know how to spend it. You know what I mean? That's why they're just creating stuff all the
I
time.
mean, I like what they're doing. I like many of the shows. I just watched the one that just came out, Outlaw King.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Which actually was kind of another side note.
Mhm.
What was I gonna say? It's called like some like decision making, right? Like who's in real control because you start to trust Netflix for its like recommendations. So it's
Yeah.
like, are we making like who's really governing us? Is it us?
Did
You
we
know,
bring that
or
up
like-
already last
No, I think you and I just talked about it on the
Oh, okay.
aside. Yeah, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
if I start to trust, if the algorithm of Netflix gets better and better,
Mm-hmm.
I won't even need to search anymore. I'll just be like, yeah, Netflix, tell me what to watch. So it's like, who's governing who at that point, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically they're just showing like what shows they're working on. So it won't be out till sometime next year.
Okay, and that's when the contracts end?
I
Next year?
think so, or they will slowly end. I don't know if they would renew the contract with Netflix or not. I don't think they would if they want to.
It's funny how like we jump into life like midway through. We don't even realize that deals like life's been going on far longer than us. You know what I mean? Like when like the British had Hong Kong and they're like, we're gonna keep you for 100 years, and then we'll release you back to the British. Like ownership or
China.
back to China, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in our lifetime, it's like, oh, Britain's relinquishing ownership of Hong Kong to go back to China, and we're like, okay, you know. But you don't realize that these deals have been going on for so long. This Disney deal, you know, they probably had like a 3. It's weird how like that works. Nothing's forever, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, they're all
Like,
contract based.
Contract, yeah. It'll be forever in your lifetime, but
Yeah.
not forever. In
I think like the
people's
recent
lifetime.
I just heard was like Amazon made a contract now with Apple to sell their products on Amazon.
Oh, that's cool.
So I wonder what that
That's
deal was.
actually that's probably really good actually because I would buy it. I love buying stuff on Amazon. See, I love you, Amazon. Just don't like your Amazon Prime, but I love your services.
Well, it depends. Yeah.
Did you hear? I don't know if you heard about this or if I told. Yeah, but I don't know if I told you this. I was in this like morning meeting thing, and they were talking about how the climate is healing itself.
I heard about this
Yeah,
a
okay.
while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like they took out one chemical, like the UN or something they like banned the use of this chemical, and then ever since it's banned, like the ozone healed itself. Where there was a hole. And I was like,
I heard about the ozone.
Well, what don't we know about the environment? You know what I mean?
Well, I knew about that. It was a while ago. It was in old news, actually.
Oh, okay.
But if you read the news.
Game. No, I don't read the news.
I mean, mine's up on Twitter, and then I see these things.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, it's like passed down, right? It's like, what was that? It was in that 21 Lessons book from the guy who wrote *Sapiens*. He said, like, truth is a matter of search engine optimization. Like, if it comes to the top of the list, you know, like, what's new today? And then it'll become, like, truth if it's at the top of the list. But if it's not there, then you have no idea about it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like news is starting to become that thing where it's like you heard it from a source who heard it from a source. You know what I mean? Like, I don't...
Well, no.
I don't watch the news.
I'm not looking at someone writing about it. It's more like on the news feed side.
Oh, okay. So, well, from my perspective, it's like, from my side, it's like I get it through you. Right. So, like, I'm not... I feel like if it's important, you'll tell me about it. I'm telling... So, this is crazy. So, I don't watch the news, right? And then my parents were watching CNN, so I'm like, all right, let me just check it out. And I was like, oh, there's these wildfires in California right now. And I was like, oh, that's what that guy was talking about. Because in my Instagram feed, this UFC fighter's like praying for all the people in Cali. I'm like, was there another shooting? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Actually, there was.
Oh, there was. All right.
It wasn't. I don't think the
No, he's talking about the fire. No,
he was talking about the fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I read back and I'm like, oh, that's what you were talking about.
Actually, the day before that was the Cali shooting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're just getting hit hard. Dang. So, but you know what's funny? So, like, Will Smith they were saying, like, on CNN that Will Smith, him and his family were trying to go to higher ground because there was the fires that hurt in Malibu. And my immediate reaction was, I wonder if he's going to vlog this. Because he has this vlog now, and I watch it, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm out here surviving these fires.
Oh, okay. You know, right.
Et cetera. But, yeah. And then when I watched it on the frickin', like, if I hadn't heard of this on CNN, I would have just watched his vlog, and I'd be like, oh, what? There's a fire? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel like there's too much to pay attention to in this world. So you gotta...
I think some news is... Well, these things, if it's immediate, something's happening around you.
Yeah, but simultaneously, when we were traveling in, like, Asia, and then they had, like... They were talking about how Japan was encroaching on Philippine territory. And then I believe I asked you, who's back in Canada, and you're like, we didn't really talk about that. Or maybe it was Brownlee. I was sorry, Brownlee.
No, I'm talking about local news.
No, of course. But, like, I'm saying there's so much news out there. Yeah, you can't pay attention to everything.
No, I'm saying more of a local thing, like something.
Well,
immediate.
Cali's not local.
No, I know. That's why it doesn't matter to us.
Oh, right.
I'm saying.
Well, I heard there was a shooting in Yorkdale, like, and I was like, what? Not recently, but like a few months ago, and I was like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, see.
I was just there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
That was a while ago, right? I don't think there was one recently. That was a while ago.
I don't even know. I heard it through my sister, who's another source. So it's like, all right, well. This is how I access my news. But then you guys wouldn't have heard of, like, other things that I heard of. You know what I mean? I feel like we got to collectively... It's sort of like you have different scouts. Like, if we're a freaking tribe, and then you have different scouts that go into different things, and then they, like, report back to the team, like, all right, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. Like, if we're all looking at the same stuff, then it's like, well, then you're in a vacuum.
Yeah.
You need to diversify your information sources. Yeah. Anything else?
It's pretty much. I mean, they're working on their own, like their own series and stuff. Star Wars.
Oh, that's cool.
A Loki series.
Oh, that's cool.
They're bringing that actor back. Okay. He died.
For this TV show?
Oh no, on like these Netflix original. Like, sorry,
Disney
originals.
Wow, that's sick. Okay, well, I'd probably buy it actually.
Right.
If they're doing content like that, yeah, sure. But
yeah, no, they're
like
gonna
children
do it like
content.
that.
So I was like, no, pass on that.
No.
I didn't know there'd be like adult themed.
I think
that's cool.
I think it'll be like a broader spectrum.
Oh, okay, that's cool then. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah.
Like yeah.
All right. So final topic of the day is the secret to life.
Okay.
So I was thinking about I wasn't just thinking about this. I was like contemplating this for a while by reading all these books, but then the 21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Harari. I don't know your name. Sorry, you got a hard name, bro.
Okay.
The guy who wrote *Sapiens*. That's how we know you.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy who wrote *Sapiens*, he wrote that book, and I know I was telling you about this yesterday, but I really believe that this is what everyone's searching for, and they're all like, because they always say like enlightenment's on the tip of your, like it's right in front of you at all times, right? And you're like, well, what does that mean? It's so elusive. Like I feel like most people who can't like just point to the exact truth of it, it means they're still kind of looking. You know when people talk about like consciousness and how it irritates me because it's like, oh, consciousness is this elusive thing that, but it's like, no, bro, like just think about it. You tell me in layman's terms what consciousness is. So I believe it's active awareness, right? Because if you're conscious of something, you know, you're actively aware of it. Right. So if you can simplify it into easy terms that people can understand, that means you really know your simple is complicated understood, basically. Right. So I really like this book because it tied into the exact same thing I was thinking of, which is the thing that the Matrix was trying to tell you, you know, like the illusion, right? How they're like, oh, you're an illusion. You're like in a world of illusions. What they're really trying to tell you is that it's narratives. Your mind is the thing that creates the narrative. So when people are like, I'm searching for the meaning of life, which is what I remember. I was in martial arts. I think I've told the story like 1,000 times, but I was in martial arts, and then my instructor was like, why are you so dedicated? I'm like, I'm looking for truth. It was such a weird thing to say. And then he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. There's like a truth of the universe, something, right? And then he said this to me, and I didn't get it at the time, but I get it now. He's like, did you see the plane that flew right behind you? And I was like, no. And he's like, that's the truth. Right? It's like what's in the truth is what you make it. It's like it's in your what's in your field of active awareness, right? Like, is it true if I didn't see the plane? Not true to me, true to someone else, true to the observer, right? But I think you can distill it further, and it's like, because he also hits it in the book too. Truth is whatever narrative you're telling yourself. And that is what the secret of life is. Because it's like, whatever you believe the secret of life to be, that's what it's going to be. So for me, it's like, oh, it's all narratives. But like, somebody could be like, the secret of life is that we're on an alien spacecraft and we're actually gods that are like geoengineering other things. You know what I mean? Right. Like, we feel like there's this big mystery to the universe. And the big mystery is you're creating the mystery. There is no real mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like the fact that you're thinking there's a mystery in the universe, that is the narrative you've sold to yourself. Right? Yeah. It cycles back on itself.
Yeah.
You can't escape the story. And I think in its like basest, lowest common denominator, it's the story. Yeah. We don't realize that we're telling ourselves stories. Right? And once you get rid of the story, then there is no life, right? There's just living. You know, when people are like, oh, you need to stop doing and start being. Yeah. Or stop, you know what I mean? Like, be in the moment. I know, Like, what they're really trying to say is, like, get rid of the narrative because your narrative's blocking you from experiencing the moment. But again, putting back the importance of narratives, how would you even know that that moment was important? Without the narrative of realizing it was important. You know what I'm saying? So you need everything. I had this weird like thought. I couldn't articulate it, but it like hit me. I could see it visually, but like I'm gonna try and articulate it now. It's like the like life. There's like this thing that's like active awareness. You're a consciousness, all right? And we have these like vehicles that are able to tap into or create that consciousness to allow itself to experience itself.
Okay.
You know? And it's like why would it's almost it's like we're like ripples. It's hard to explain it because the thing that got me was like, okay, if you're sick, there's a thing in this universe that can make you unsick, right? But why would the universe create something that makes you unsick? That's not the point, though. The point is that you have to realize that you're all one. You're in a collective cycle that requires each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sickness and the cure are one already.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you look at life in terms of that, it's like we're not really doing anything. We're just like expanding and contracting at all times.
Right.
I will figure out a less mystical way to say that, but it's like it's really hard to articulate that. But you get what I'm trying to say? It's like
we just don't have the right words in English, probably.
Yeah, but I can see it in my head. Like I can visually see it. I just don't know how to explain the expanding and contracting. It's just like we're like, oh, I'm sick. Okay, here's the cure for that. It's like disharmony and harmony. We're always going through these like stages of like need and not need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like hunger, and then you'll eat something.
Right.
But it's like, why was there hunger in the first place? You know. But the illusion is that hunger and eating are separate. It's just a thing that is happening in the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, it's hard to explain. The best way I can articulate it at this point in time, if you're listening to this and you understand what I'm saying, kudos to you. If you don't know what I'm saying, I'll try and simplify it in the future. I just can't articulate it really well right now. But it's like where separation and non-separation is happening at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Like separation would be like or homeostasis and not homeostasis are always happening. But in the whole circle of things, it's like they're all one.
Right.
So I'm hungry.
Yeah.
There's food, right? There's separation there. I go to eat that food. I'm like, okay, well, I'm back to homeostasis now. But if you observe it outwards, then it's like there was really no separation. You were just doing something that's a natural cyclical process.
Mm-hmm.
You're just seeing it as like, I must eat. But it's like, no, that food was there for you to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like looking at the frickin'. It's like not realizing the cycle. You could either look at it as like the cycle, or like you can look at it as like component parts of the cycle.
Yeah.
I'm diverging way too far on this. I'm like, I'll figure it out. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. If you get it out there, kudos to you, because that was a hard one to explain. But yeah, that hit me, and it was like, so then what are we doing here? You know, we're just.
What do you mean?
No, it's just happening, right? But then really, it's the stories that are telling us what we're doing here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if there was no story, it would just be happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I'm trying to figure out the best story right now to articulate what it is that I'm seeing of this never-ending cycle of non-story.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. All right. You know, we're just gonna end it there because this is like some crazy.
We humans think too much.
Yeah, this is like some freaking. You know what's funny? All right, there's a story of like Alexander the Great. I believe it's Alexander the Great, and he goes to this mystic, and they're like, if you can untie this knot, you can become the king.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's an old fable, and so many people were like, oh, I can't untie the knot, I can't untie the knot, I can't untie the knot, right? So like he went through cycle after cycle, and then one person came, and then they just cut the knot.
Right.
And then they became king. So like really what it's saying is like sometimes you just gotta let the problem go. Like right now I'm creating this insane knot that I'm trying to untangle and explain to you, but it's like we're just gonna end it and I'm cutting the knot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, so anyways, till next time, play some video games.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You got a final thought on that one?
I think I said that. We think too much.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go with you on that one. I've mind blown myself. Anyways, we might be back with online sessions. Who knows? We'll see. We're running out of time today. But yeah, till next week. Stay hungry, stay cute.
What?
I don't know.
Stay foolish? Stay... I don't know.
All right, yeah. All right.
Cool.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.